Welcome to Euro Event. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to invite you to the 13th edition of Euro Event European Exhibition and Creativity and Innovation held online in IASI, Romania, May 2021. At Palace of Culture IASI, the event promotes creativity and innovation and international context. The last edition saw our 500 invention and project, being the largest in Eastern Europe during your event, leading inventor, researchers, engineers, and scientists will present actual research issue in all fields of research. Under the auspices of your event take place first invention and research exhibition, second international conference on innovative research, third technical scientific artificial and literary book salon, fourth European visual art exhibition. Exhibition purpose, dissemination of research results, partnership and agreement, creating and developing new research ideas, technology transfer and implementation. This is a welcome announcement and keep fighting. The first appearance will be present Muhammad Alif Dawawayudi and Akmalul Umam, Senior Islamic High School Unggulan Singaputi, MA Unggulan Singaputi, Indonesia. They will present synthesis of beta-cyanide fiber sandwich material based on Heliceros polyresis for anti-cancer hijab in vivo case study. Well, please take your moment.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Muhammad Alif Yudi and I am Akmalul Umam. We are from Senior Islamic High School, Unggulan Singaputi, Indonesia. Okay, first, cancer is disease caused by the growth of new uncontrolled cells. The result in genetic mutation. The interaction that occurs between the skin and uterus is very influential on the formation of cancer on the skin. If the UV dose exceeds the 3 cell damage response, keratination activates the apoptotic pathway and dies. The potential of the rocket fruit or hydroceros polarizes. Your fruit is rich in beta-alanine, which has a precursor pigment obtained from the active substance of beta-cyanide. The fruit contains beta-cyanide, beta-alanine, isobeta-alanine, phyllocatine, and hylucerine, which are other beta subgroups. This invention seeks a solution, synthesis of beta-cyanide fiber sandwich material based on the hylucerous polarizes for anti-cancer hijab in people case study. Sandwich material coloring process. First, the pixel clothed in a solution of natrium hydroxide, 10% as much as 100 milliliters to remove dirt. Second, the cotton cloth is then dried below 70 degrees Fahrenheit, making sandwich material. 1. Cotton fabric that is done through the coloring process, then fired layer sample 1 consists of 2 layers and 3 layers. 2. The result of the process were directly designed using senior 984 showing machines to form variation in the thickness of each sample. UV and UVB radiation treatment in worm cells. Irradiation using a 25-watt UV lamp is repeated from the first material sandwich to the fifth material sandwich. Next, UV radiation treatment with intensity 50 watts, etc. Observation and measurement. 1. UV sensor connected V. Arduino Uno. 2. UV spectroscopy similar to 1601. 3. SIM EDS Geol GED2300. And 4. FTIR spectroscopy similar to IR Spirit or ATR serial number A224158. Okay. Absorption of hijab sandwich material, Heliceros paralysis. The best absorption of hijab sandwich material, Heliceros paralysis, reached 25.93%. There is highly stable absorption up to 25.93% toward UVA and UVB. Level image segmentation 50. Sample number 4 protected by hijab sandwich material, Heliceros polarizes best the lower series toward UVA and UVB with 25.93%. Hijab sandwich material, Heliceros polarizes fully absorptive. UVA in the length wave 320 till 400 nanometer. UVB in the length wave 290 till 320 nanometer. Profile in the spectrum and FTIR of sandwich material, Heliceros polarizes. The peak area of sandwich material is higher than regular area. Set the gray value of 158.94 AU, 147.50 AU. The spectrum has distinguished peaks of carbon and oxygen. The weak consumption of CNO are 66.21% or 27.38% and 33.79% or 27.78%. FTIR indicate that there have are fixed tension a group of molecules followed as ether, stretching, carboxylic acid, and aldehyde. Mechanism of rejection with material, helicity polarization for UV protection. Ether, stretching, carboxylic acid, and aldehyde perfectly collaborate to create chain reaction consists of isobetanin, phylloxactin, and phyllocyanin become beta-serine. Beta-cyanins absorb UVA and UVB perfectly, so the lower risk of cancer cause of radiation can be protected by them. Furthermore, beta-cyanins have a wavelength of 290 till 400 nanometer. So this material is able to absorb UVB 290 till 430 nanometer and UVA 320 till 400 nanometer. Organic compounds are able to absorb UV light due to the presence of valence electrons which will exit the higher energy. Conclusion of research findings. Morphology of Egyptian with material Heliceris coloraceus indicate that there are grains of Heliceris coloraceus concentrate perfectly layering the cotton. A group of molecules in Egyptian with material Heliceris coloraceus perfectly collaborates to absorb PPA and UVB perfectly. So the lower risk of cancer cause of radiation can be protected by them. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for all your attention. Now, judging time consists of several questions. First, Professor Dianis Nurwati, PhD, Professor Nikmatul Ula, PhD, Professor Syarif Hidayatullah, PhD, and with me, Henggi Adianto. For Professor Dianis Nurwati, PhD, please take your moment.
Mute.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Are you ready about my question?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I have question about the picture of 6A. Can you mention to me about that picture?
Okay. And pick 8A represented the morphological analysis to zoom by hijab sandwich material in the series polarizes up to 100 times magnification so that there are grains of the series polarizes concentrate perfectly layering the cotton. Okay, finish.
Okay, thank you. And then next question for me. Based on the result of EDS analysis, what you found?
Okay, the EDS spectrum of hijab sandwich material Heliceris polarizes particles is shown in Fig 10. The spectrum has distinguished peaks of carbon and oxygen. The weak contribution are 27.78% and 33.79% or 27.70%.
Okay, thank you. I think enough. I will give it back to moderator. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thank you from Professor Dianis Nurwati. And after that, the next question for Professor Nikmatul Ula, PhD.
Okay, thank you for this time. I will give you two questions. Question one is, please tell me process coloring process on sandwich material in your product.
I will answer your question. Change material
Yes.
coloring process. The first step that is done before coloring is cutting a cloth size of 20 centimeter multiple 20 centimeter as much as 18 sheets. Furthermore, the piece of cloth in a solution of natrium hydroxide 10% as much as 100 milliliter to remove dirt. The cotton cloth is then dried below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The dried fabric is then spread into 6 parts. As many as 5 parts are done coloring process and one other part is left white. Then each material have coloring process to require red dragon or Hyloceras polarizes as much as 1.5 kilogram. The red dragon fruit is taken meat and then must be using a blender. The dragon fruit that has been in the blender is extracted through the filtration process. The filter is then distilled in 5 parts, each containing 140 milliliter dragon fruit extract plus solvents. Sample A containing Haloceras polarizes as much as 240 milliliter. Sample B contains Haloceras polarizes solution as much as 340 milliliter. Sample C contains Haloceras polarizes solution as much as 440 milliliter. Sample D contains Haloceras polarizes solution as much as 540 milliliter. A sample E contains Haloceras polarized solution as much as 640 milliliter. Next, each sample is cooked in a suspense over low heat for more than 10 minutes until boiling. When the solution boils, a cotton cloth to be colored is inserted into each sample solution of Haloceras polarized until the color on the fabric is evenly distributed. The fire on the stove can be reduced to produce stable heat. Cotton fabric is taped on to ensure the color on the fabric is evenly distributed. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, what bond result from FTIR analysis? What bond?
What spot? Okay. In FTIR, we we found bonds in beta-cyanine, ether, stretching, carboxylic acid, and aldehyde. 5 compounds, and are able to absorb UV light. Okay, finish.
Okay, thank you very much. The question from Professor Nikmatul Ula, PhD. After that, the next question will be asked from Professor Sharif Hidayatullah, PhD. Please take your moment.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Hengki Hardianto. Okay, this is my questions. I want to know what is the how to differentiate between UVA and UVB. Please answer my questions.
Okay. Thanks for question. I want to answer your question. Uh, okay. UVA is efficient in producing oxygen that can damage DNA through indirect photosynthesis reaction. The UVB is directly absorbed by DNA, which causes the reorganization of molecules forming specific products as a cyclobutane dimers and 6-antin-5 photoproducts.
Okay, nice. Okay, my last questions about your product. What is the compound are contained in beta-cyanine?
Okay, our compounds and in FAIR in beta-cyanins have 5 compounds: ether, stretching, carboxylic acid, and aldehyde are able to absorb UV light.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Final questions will ask for me. This question for Alif.
Okay.
What is beta-cyanine fibrous material based on fully research for anti-cancer hijab in vivo case study? And what is hijab?
Okay, thanks for your question. What's beta-cyan fibrous material based on a hallucinous polarized for anti-cancer hijab in vivo case study? That is, morphology of hijab changes matter hallucinous polarized indicate that there are grains of hallucinous polarized concentrate perfectly there in the cotton, a group of molecules in which are ethers, stretching, carboxylic acid, and aldehyde in group of molecules hijab in which material hallucinous polarized perfectly collaborate. And hijab is a religious veil worn by Muslim women in the presence of any men outside of their immediate family, which usually cover the hair, head, and chest. That's answer.
Okay, thank you. For next question for Akmal. Beta-cyanine have a wavelength of 290 nanometers until 400 nanometers. So this material is able to absorb UVB and UVA. These organic compounds are able to absorb UV light to the presence of valence electron, which will exist to a higher energy. What is the meaning of valence electron, which will exist to higher energy? And what bonds are exist to higher energy?
Okay. Inner electron does not in the valence cell. Typical don't participate to chemical bonding and reaction. Valence electron can be gained, lost, or shed to form chemical bond. When air of H means not neutralization. And what bond are exit to a higher energy? Carboxylic acid and aldehyde. Okay, finish.
Okay, thank you for all your answers and thank you for all the juries. This is a performance from MA Unggulan Singa Putih Indonesia. And the next presentation from Vietnam.